The final bell had been a death knell, echoing through the now silent hallways. For Daniel, waiting outside Miss Park's office felt like standing on the precipice of his own doom. It was nothing less than a waking nightmare. His heart hammered against his ribs, a frantic drumbeat of pure dread. A cold, clammy sweat slicked his palms, and he kept wiping them on the rough fabric of his trousers, a useless, repetitive gesture. He squeezed his eyes shut, taking a deep, shuddering breath, trying to wrestle his runaway panic back into its cage.
Calm down, Daniel. Just calm down. She didn't seem that bad in class. She was just direct.
But the memory of her sharp, intelligent eyes cutting right through his bravado made his stomach clench. His attempt at self-reassurance was failing spectacularly. The confident persona he'd worn in her classroom felt like a distant, foolish memory now. Meanwhile, Ji-yo was walking back from the staff room, a stack of ungraded papers tucked under her arm. Her day was far from over. A mountain of work awaited her. That's why she'd asked the student, Mr. Kang, she reminded herself, to wait. She needed to grab her things before dealing with whatever that display in class had been about. She was tired, and frankly, not in the mood for disciplinary chats. As she rounded the corner, she saw him, and stopped.
There you are,
she said, her voice even, but her eyes took in the scene with sharp assessment. This wasn't the boy from her class. That one had been all swagger and challenging smirks. This one looked like a cornered animal.
Are you all right, Mr. Kang? You seem unsettled.
The question hung in the air between them. She was genuinely perplexed. What could have possibly happened to so thoroughly dismantle the overconfident young man she'd met just an hour ago?
No, I'm fine, nothing.
Daniel lied, the word catching in his dry throat. He attempted to summon his usual cocky smile, but it felt like a cheap mask plastered onto his face, stiff and unconvincing. He tried to stand straighter, to project an air of normalcy, but inside every nerve was screaming. He was drowning in a sea of pure, unadulterated fear. Ji-yo saw right through the flimsy facade. She could push, she could pry the truth out of him right here in the hallway, but she decided against it. There was no point in cornering him further, it would only make him more defensive. Instead, she crossed her arms over her chest, a gesture of unimpressed authority.
If you say so,
she replied, her tone dripping with a skepticism she didn't bother to hide. She turned and pulled a set of keys from her pocket, the metallic jingle echoing loudly in the quiet hall. She unlocked the door with a decisive click.
Let's go inside the office, Mr. Kang.
The invitation sounded more like a summons. Daniel watched the door swing open, revealing the shadows of the room within. He swallowed hard against the lump of dread in his throat, the sound audible in the silence. He gave a jerky nod, his mind racing. He was steeling himself for the inevitable scolding, for the lecture on respect, and for the worse. The possibility that she knew far more than he thought she did.